guys. Hey, guys. Welcome to another episode of Hello World with your girl Joy from Be the Difference Clothing. Hey, Dr. Jess. We have a member. And it's Dr. Jess. How are you? Good to see you. What's going on? How was your day so far? I hope it was good and I hope it was amazing. I told y'all, you lay my hair down for a couple hours and we good to go. I like how it's hitting. I like that. How was your day, Jess? It was nice. That's good. I need to go in and see if I'm buffering really quick. Hey, Gigi, what's going on? Hey, Brooklyn, how are you? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Gigi, I hope you're doing well too. Good to see you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and turn on your notification bells. If you can, give me a thumbs up or down, whichever one you prefer doing. You can also share out the stream if you'd like. No pressure there. But, that's up to you. It's just an option. Tonight, we're going to be having a little candid conversation. And you already know, in true Be the Difference Joy fashion, is never what you really expect. So I thank you guys for coming in. I know I'm early, but I just decided to go early. It is what it is, right? So how was your day, guys? You doing good? Brooklyn, how you been? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Sorry about that, y'all. Doing great, helping Sorrento with some mixes earlier. Now I'm here. Oh, okay. That's cool. Oh, yeah. Let me share out the stream real quick. Let me share out the stream really quick. That's the one thing I always forget to do. I'm trying my best to be better at doing that and in a decent amount of time. If you get a chance, guys, I posted a video today about how to rotate your tires. If you can take a look at that, be inspired by it, be encouraged by it. Like this little girl right here was able to do it. And then I'll tell you, then I'll go into how my day was. Mm-hmm. Hey, J Dog's in his house. How you doing, J Dog? Doing good? That's good. Let me just share it out to one more place. And then we can get this thing popping. I'm trying to find some popular hashtags. I only found one. I was just posting it to Twitter. All right, that's it. Hey, we have a member. We have a member. And it's Angel's Army. Hey, Life with Nicole Marie, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. All right, so let me tell you guys how my day went. So I didn't sleep well at all last night. I had a really hard time sleeping. And you guys know I don't have issues with sleeping, but I had a hard time. I kept waking up. I tried to go to sleep early and I couldn't go to sleep early. I just kept waking up because I was like, all right, well, if I go to sleep early, then I'll go to the gym this morning. And then After like 5 o'clock this morning, I woke up at 5. I went to the restroom and I sipped a little bit of water. That knocked me out good. I was knocked out until about 8. But of course, in between that time, I woke up like twice. But not wake up for real, but just like that almost wake up type of thing. Still enough to be like you're aware that you're not sleeping. Mm. Oh, snap. Congratulations, Jazz. You won. Congratulations. Jazz won the prize, won the raffle for Angel. Okay, good. And then what else did I do? So I did not go to the gym today. Um, I ended up running errands. And guys, if you are following me on Instagram, if not, then consider doing so. This is the Instagram. It's under BTD LLC. I posted a video. Um, so today I got in the mail. Sorry, I'm just writing this out right here real quick. Okay, I wrote that and now let me pin it. Okay. So today I got in the mail my last installment of my copyright. Yeah. And this was like the process that I had to go through was more difficult than I had ever experienced with, getting stuff copywritten. And I was just like, this is never going to happen. But I had an inkling in my heart. I was like, I wonder when it's coming, if it's going to come anytime soon. And then it came today. So I filed it in June 4th to be exact. I filed it June 4th. And usually copyrights take at least a year. They finally approved it on November 27th. So that's why I got it in the mail today. But if you ever try to copyright something, like whether it's music or written work, it does take up to a year, maybe longer, depending on, whatever, because they have to look through the entire catalog, the system to make sure nothing matches with someone else's work or whatever. Um, so I was kind of excited. That kind of put a highlight in my day to see that. And I posted the video on Instagram, not because I wanted anyone to be like, oh my goodness, congrats. I did it because I want to show people that it doesn't matter who you are. You can accomplish so many things. And remember, there was a point in time when I did not know how to do any of this stuff. And I had to learn myself. So with life, you're going to have to learn how to do stuff yourself, which brings us to the topic about how to bake a cake. How many of us enjoy cake? I don't. I don't like cake. I used to like ice cream cake, but I don't really eat ice cream like that anymore. Carvel to be exact. It was Carvel with the little crunchies on the inside. I used to love that. But anyway, um, a lot of us indulge in cakes at restaurants. We may buy store-bought cake. We even may buy box cake and make it from there, or we may make cake from scratch. But today we're going to talk about the different kinds of cakes and people and everything, right? Hi, Candy. Welcome back. So, how often do you have a slice of cake and go back to the originator who baked it and say thank you? Even if it was just a company that created that cake. How many of us actually go back to say thank you for creating this delicious cake? Or even when you go to the bakery, how many of us go back to the baker and say, oh my goodness, that cake was good? Not too long ago, I took part in a challenge where we baked a cake with two ingredients. Um, but historically, if we were to bake a cake for it to come out, how it used to be baked before there was ever any preservatives, we had to use flour, eggs, vanilla extract, sugar, and butter to bake a cake. Now, I'm pretty sure we can bake a cake without some of those ingredients, but will it be as moist? Will the consistency be as good? You get where I'm going, right? So a lot of us bake our lives and we omit certain things that are necessary to make the cake good. And when we omit those things, a lot of people who don't understand how to bake a cake may miss that ingredient and not even realize that it should have been there. A lot of us walk around with missing pieces to our cakes. And because we don't spend enough time getting to know certain things about humanity, we don't realize what ingredient is missing. How about this, guys, right? Back when you were baking cakes from scratch, you had to use a certain spoon. Sometimes you had to use wooden spoons. Sometimes you had to use flat spatula. Sometimes you had to use a whisk in order to prepare that cake in the way that it was supposed to be for that particular style. How many of us don't have the right tools in our lives? Tools could be education, tools could be the money, tools could be the desire to make that cake spectacular, that other people might want to enjoy, that other people might want to continuously savor and not just take chunks of it, but savor it and be like, oh, no, 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 I don't want this cake to go away. What about the preservation of the cakes? Do we store it properly? Do we freeze it? Do we refrigerate it? Do we cover it? I went to work the other day, and one of my coworkers bought donuts, fresh made donuts. I didn't eat any because I am not eating out like that. So the next day, I saw that there were three remaining donuts, and they were not in a box. They were just on a plate sitting out. And people still indulged in eating it. That's how we indulge in the rawness of some people. We still enjoy it, even though it's not proper, it's not good, it's not, it's not good for your health. You don't know what happens overnight, germs, dust, people are changing garbages and cleaning the office, and everything is just still out in the open like that. Hmm. Some of us don't even attempt to bake a cake. We just buy it from the store. Nothing wrong with store-bought cake, but think about how we buy other people's personalities and try to put it on top of ours. Tastes good, but it's not you. It's better that we spend the time to get all the right ingredients for our cakes. Social ingredients, empathetic ingredients, kindness ingredients, love ingredients, tolerance ingredients, research ingredients, encouragement ingredients, drive, goal setting, all that are ingredients to bake our cake, i.e., to create who we are. And then once your cake is done, how are you presenting it? Some people just bake a cake and leave it with no frosting or anything on top of it or icing. I call it icing. I don't know. I've always called it icing. It always sounded like icing when they said it. So I just call it that. But icing. Sometimes we put the pretty delicate icing driblets or drops on there. Then we use the confectionery sugar to sprinkle extra sugar on top just to present it well. How many of us spend time trying to package and present ourselves better? That all goes into that cake that we end up baking. And then sometimes we rush the production of that cake. You guys know if you open the oven when the cake is rising, it's going to flop down. But there are ways that you can look to see how your cake is rising. You have the light on top of the oven, i.e., your maker creator who is molding that cake, who is baking it. And all you have to do is watch it to make sure it doesn't burn. But if that cake is supposed to rise to a certain point and you do not have all of the ingredients that are necessary to make that cake rise to the point and the level that it has to be, it will always stay in the oven longer than it's supposed to be. And half of the bottom will be burnt and the top will still be raw. The inside will be half baked and also a little raw. This is what happens when we rush the process of who we are, who we're supposed to be, who we become. I know one thing that all of our cakes need, which is the base, which is the flour, which is love, because that's the thing that helps bind everything together. And some of us lack the flowers in our cakes. All we do is put butter and sugar. The consistency is smooth, but it won't stick. Then maybe you forget to add the vanilla extract. I never understood what vanilla extract really did for a cake, except for give it a little black color and it smelled so delicious, but it had no taste. It almost tasted like alcohol. Anybody know what does anybody know what vanilla extract, the purpose of that? I just know that that's what we always used in a cake. You got different kinds of cakes. You got rum raisin, you have rum cake, you have coconut cake, you have all the pecan cake, all these different cakes. But that's the different flavors of all of us. But does it taste good or does the outside just look good? People slice into our cakes all the time by getting to know us. Sometimes you slice into your own cake and you realize that it doesn't taste good. That's when you wake up because you'll realize the things that you've been doing is not helping you pursue or grow. So therefore, you have to restart or maybe redo some things. Oh, and I forgot eggs. Eggs go in a cake too. Did I say that before? I think I did. I don't know. I don't remember. You made a cake, Candy? That's nice. So, what is your cake looking like today? Is it baked yet? Have you purchased all your ingredients? What kind of flavoring are you going to put in there? Are you going to put anything on top of it? Because you can still be a perfectly tasting cake or essence. Your element and your essence can be amazing. It could be great. Even if you don't have the frosting or the icing. Even the fruit sometimes that you put on top of a cake, cherries, bananas, pineapples, whatever. Just to make it even more presentable, add a little bit more sweetness to it. But sometimes we could be just as sweet. A pound cake could be just as good without having the ice cream on the side or whipped cream on top. It's still good. But that first slice, y'all, that's the best slice to get. See, when we get fully capable of doing the things that will make us great, we become that first slice all the time. perfect steam, perfect bounce, and fluffiness to it. Maybe you have a middle layer, maybe you're 2 layers, maybe you're one. It doesn't matter, but it's a perfect slice. It's enjoyable by everybody, everything. Even if people don't like eating cake, they just enjoy watching it and seeing how perfectly baked it is. These are representations of who we are, what people see us to be, and those who indulge in us can taste and see that this cake is good. And I don't mean literally tasting your cake, but just basically enjoying the presence of who you really are and who you've become. What's your cake looking like? I ask you that again. Simple ingredients: 2 or 3 eggs, a pound of sugar, or half a pound of sugar, or 3 cups of sugar, 1 stick of butter, real butter, maybe a half a pound of flour, sifted. Ooh, sometimes our flour needs to be sifted. Sometimes we have different parts and particles of us that just need to get sifted just to throw off that excess, unnecessary things. I think sometimes they just sift through the flour just because, just to make it more fine, the grains more fine. I do understand you. Sometimes people still pick and choose what cake they eat. Yeah, it's true. But that's the point of having choices, right? So there's absolutely options, and it's okay if people desire cakes that are not good for them. That's okay. It doesn't necessarily mean that people will continue to eat from the same cake. Doesn't mean that at all. Sometimes we have to go through things in order to understand who we are. Our past doesn't help us do that. It's what's present and right in front of you, and what you're doing with that. Remember how we're activating what next year is going to look like, or even 6 months from now? Even if you make your cake to perfection, some people still won't pick your cake because you're making it too good. It's true. It's true. It's very true. And that's fine as well. You may have the best cake in the house, but somebody may just want the pound cake. That's already been cut and it's the last slice. That's the point. That is the beauty of free will, that we can exercise that. And there's, like I said, there's nothing wrong and there's nothing to be ashamed of, even if you have the best cake in the house and still are not enjoyed. That's fine, because there will be other people who will enjoy the cake and be more active with that cake and have more conversations with that cake because of you. That's how we end up sharing each other, by how we treat each other, by the different conversations that we have with each other, by the love we give. And when it hit right, it hits right. Hey, we have a member. We have a member. And it's Jazzy TV. Hey, girl. It's called jealousy. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. And it also depends on where that stems from too. Like, get this, right? You guys may think I'm an amazing person and all of these great things. But then there may be other people who may view me and be like, I'm the most annoying person in the world. But they have a right to feel that way. Whatever it is that's inside of me doesn't click with them. And I'd rather them not be around me, tainting my cake, using the wrong knife to cut it, than to be enjoyed by others who absolutely see the value and the worth of me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily know if that's all jealousy, but again, it depends on where that's coming from. You know, jealousy could be the person that said they're going to bring you the right ingredients, and instead of flour, they bring you baking soda. And if you don't know the difference, you use that baking soda. That's jealousy, sabotaging your cake. That is a good example of jealousy. There are people who will try to sabotage the creation of your cake by, human wise, trying to get other people not to like you, or trying to, destroy anything you're trying to build. Yeah, that's jealousy for sure. But if it's a general, the souls just don't align, I don't think that's necessarily, jealousy to a degree. But the sabotaging, yeah, that's jealousy for sure. And those are the worst people who can do the most damage, are the people who are jealous. And you might not even be able to detect a jealous person. But if you have all of the right ingredients for your cake, then you'll be able to detect that. And you won't allow them to get close to you. You get that feeling, you'll get that feeling when something just isn't right with a person and how they're interacting with you. You'll get that feeling. So how's your cake looking? You putting it on 350, 475? If you don't put it on the right temperature, it's not going to bake properly. If we're not under the right influences, if we're not under the right guidance, the same thing as influence, but whatever. Some people may need to hear it differently. But if we're not surrounding ourselves around the right type of individuals, we may burn our cake because you may not match the level. And it's all right. You don't have to be at everybody's level. Life isn't always about being agreeable to every situation. Sometimes you're just not meant to be there. Sometimes you're just not meant to be in a certain situation, right? When it comes to work situations sometimes get clicks. It's best not to be in a clique in general, but guard yourself from being tossed into that, because now you are allowing other people to put ingredients in your cake inadvertently. And the people who are observing the baking of your cake might say, "Ooh, they hanging around them." Mm. If they have a historical uh, sense of doing certain things that are maybe detrimental, you got to be careful. So if you're being influenced by the wrong people, or the surrounding yourselves around the wrong circumstances and situations, you're going to burn your cake, or your cake is never going to get done. Or it may get done, but because it wasn't at the right heat, it's still missing something. That golden top, maybe, that moistness that it could have. You know, what's the best way to bake a cake? How? Now let's talk about the solutions on how we can bake the cake. Ooh, 30 minutes. Good. How we can bake that cake. Get the right tools. Surround yourself around the right influences. And take your time. That's all that you need. The spoon or the wick, the spoon or the blender or the whisk, the right pan to put it in so it doesn't overflow, and the right place to put it, to serve it to the right place and to the right people. Yes, I said serve because we are serving each other every day, depending on your actions, your reactions, you're still serving. If we keep that in our mind, that we're always in servitude to some degree, what are you going to do, guys? How are you going to let the outcome of your cake be? Are you going to let it bake properly? Are you going to take the time to allow it to bake properly? Are you going to take the time to get all of the ingredients just so your cake is the best it can actually be, i.e., you? Are you spending the time to stir it right so it has the right consistency? You're going to put it on right heat? And after you have finished baking your cake, even though you know your cake is the best cake in the world, are you going to serve it frivolously or with a mission? Hopefully, we try to serve our lives for a mission and not just taking up air and taking up space. Because there's plenty of people who are taking their last breath that could use to utilize your life in the direction of how your life can go better. And they're wishing that they could have been you in that last breath. Don't squander your gifts. Don't squander your life. Don't squander your cake. Eat it right. You know what I'm saying? I hope you guys enjoyed this live and the different ways that we look at ourselves. Because we should be looking at ourselves every day. That's how you watching to make sure your cake doesn't burn or doesn't overflow and that you're using the right pan. Right? Because sometimes we use the wrong pan and it overflows, or we don't use we use the wrong pan and it's not enough, or it's too much room. And the cake is not going to be having any depth to it or height. Everything has to go in its right place. Spend more time getting to know yourself. Spend more time understanding life. Spend more time understanding love and the heart and your purpose. If you ever want to get to know anything more about Be the Difference Clothing, there's a pin up there where you can shop at BeTheDifferenceLLC.com. Ooh, 33 minutes, good. Also, as a reminder, you are beautiful and amazing. I enjoy all the cakes that I see in this chat. In the right environment, yes, that too. I enjoy you guys. Every little slice that you give me, I enjoy you. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the times that you're here. Even if you can't be here or whenever you come, your contribution is great. And I appreciate that. Please watch some of my videos if you get a chance. The one that I posted and also some of the exercise shorts. The exercise shorts, all you have to do if you really want to try and test yourself a little, just try some of the shorts. Challenge yourself to do an exercise a day, one of them. And I guarantee you'll be okay. You'll be fine. Your body may be sore, but soreness makes you stronger. No problem, Brooklyn. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Please never forget how beautiful and amazing you are. and how encouraging you can be and how necessary you are to so many different people, whether you know it or not. It does not matter. But it's the simple fact that you're alive and that you're here shows that you have a purpose. Activate it, do something with it, get your goals going. Set your standards a little higher than your own expectation. Be the difference. If you ever want to get to know anything more about me, again, go down to Be the Difference Clothing. You can get books, hoodies, t-shirts, and more, socks, and all that other stuff, and onesies and all that good stuff. You can go out and get anything. So I appreciate you guys for hanging in there with me. And I hope that whatever you do for the rest of the day, you'll enjoy it. And oh, thanks, Brooklyn. I appreciate it. Um, Never be ashamed of your cake either. That's the one thing I forgot to tell you guys. Never be ashamed of your cake, even if you're not the baker of the bakers. Even if your cake doesn't look appealing, don't be ashamed of it because it's appealing to a lot more than you expect or think. So be happy with your cakes and just keep on improving it over and over again. All right, guys. Well, my name is Joy from Be the Difference Clothing, and I am signing out on another episode of Hello World. Yeah.